Hey, welcome back to the Car Shocker. My name is Jimmy Prater. I'm a car close. That's what I do. I close. I close car deals. And you do too. That's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. You close. You close car deals. Retention. Big problem, right? I've got an idea how to fix it. I have the greatest idea in the world. And I'll tell you before I put it in my book. Here's the idea. Attitude. Motivation. Energy. That's why the car sounds like energy. You got to have the energy. People won't want to leave. You won't have a problem. So you build the core of energy inside your store. You get people motivated. And then they become the greatest person in the world and the greatest salesperson and most of all, the greatest closer. Because now they got an attitude to finish it off. So let's keep the people we have at our stores. Let's work with them. Let's motivate them. What's going on in their lives? Why they would want to make a change? Why do they want to go to your competition and go start selling cars there? Did something happen inside the store that irritated them? Did a manager come down too hard on them because a deal went south? Because you know what? The revolving door is no good. They go to that store for a few days, they come back, or a few months, or a few weeks, or a few years even, they come back to you. You don't want that revolving door. You want them to stay. And the only way they're going to stay there if they have motivation. And it starts with the energy. It starts with you, dealer. See, it all starts with you. You got to put the energy in your store. If you got a bunch of slugs sitting at the desking deals, you don't have energy. They should have a smile on their face all the time and think of the salesperson every time they bring them a deal in. They should be helping the salespeople. They should be motivating the salespeople. And your floor manager, do you have one? Because if you don't have one, then you don't have a sales process that leads into the closing process. And there's your hiccup right there. Because salespeople will leave if they're not making money. They want to stick around if they're making money. And they're only going to make money if the closing ratio goes up. You got to have a closing ratio. It's got the percentage has got to go through the roof. If you don't have a closing process, what are they doing when they close the deal? How are they closing the deal? Do they just because you got a nice product? Oh, what makes your product nicer than your competitor? Tell me. Oh, you got nicer used cars. Everyone's got better used cars. Quality used cars. Everybody has quality used cars. Of course you do. Because you have quality used cars. Because you have the best used cars. I understand that. So now that you got the best used cars in the market, and you're saying it to everybody, we have the greatest used cars out there. And now that you have them, how are you going to close the deal? Let's say you had the best used cars out there. How are you going to close the deal? How are you going to close the deal? By asking for it, right? And by having a sales process. If you have a sales process and you have a closing process and you're asking for the sale, you're going to increase sales. You're going to close them and gross them. And then you're going to get everybody jazzed up because you're bringing the energy in. Don't be afraid to make some moves. Nothing happens if something moves. You got to move, so move. High energy. Get signs put in your store. Say, high energy store. Caution. High energy store. This is the only time when you're playing with energy that you want someone to get electrocuted. Electrocuted off from your energy. And let that motivation flow through their veins. Because then they're going to have the attitude. They got the motivation now. Wow, I'm going to sell a couple cars right now in an hour. Of course, I'm being facetious about that, but maybe you can. Do it all the time. People do it around. Wow. What a new concept. Energy, motivation, and attitude. Wow. That's all it takes to sell cars? Should have been doing it a long time ago. You did do it a long time ago. You used to have the energy in your store. You used to have the motivation in your store. You never worried about your salespeople having the attitude. Let's get back to traditional sales process because that's where it's at. Let's get them in the meeting and let's do a rah-rah meeting all the time. Let's get it so they're anxious to get in the meeting. You know what they used to say in the military, right? If you're there 10 minutes early or 10 minutes late, you pick it. Because if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. And then we'll be there on time to your meetings. Get involved with your meetings. Throw some cash out there. Have a good time in your meetings. The retention's low in the industry. It's low. We all get that. Everybody understands that. It doesn't have to be low. Get the energy, get the motivation, get the attitude in there. Attitude, appearance, and listening. Logic, mathematics, and presentation sells cars. We all know that. The motivation level, if it's low, you're going to have low sales. The motivation level high, you're going to have high sales. That's how you have to judge if you're going to sell cars that day or not. Look around and see people's frowns on their face. You're not selling any cars. Do something to jazz them up. Get the music pumped up. Raise the roof. Buy them lunch. Motivate them. Figure out what motivates people. It starts from your energy. Recruiting's a problem. Recruiting's a huge problem. How do you recruit? Do you just rely on these recruiting websites? Indeed, Monster? Is that what you're relying on? Maybe you got 3 or 4 stores and you have an HR department. You got one person running HR, screening everybody that comes in the door that is applying for work, not really wanting to open up the measures of qualifications. Maybe somebody turned their life around, and maybe you can read into that. Stop being so strict on your HR department trying to say, hey, this screen everybody. They have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. You never know who's going to sell the most cars in your store. You never know who's going to walk through those doors. Make little cards up. Make little cards up to give the salespeople so when they're out and about, they can recruit for you. And darn it, managers, you ought to be recruiting. You ought to go to these cell phone companies where they're selling cell phones and recruit them people. Oh, they're dealing with people every day. It's not the millennium's fault. This business has not changed. It's still a people business. People buy from people. And if somebody says, listen, you do such a great job at your job right now, I like to offer you an opportunity. Here's a business card. Give them all the salespeople and give the salesperson, give them a bonus if they make it 30 days. If they get hired in, they make it 30 days. Their prospect that they brought in. Let's say they brought them in and they only worked 1 day. Still give them a bonus. That's how you recruit, because we are a people business. We're not a machine business. We don't buy cars in vending machines, and I did say that. We don't do that. It's not working out. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you like this video, go ahead and share it and like it. If you want to see more videos like it, hey, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. I love closing deals, and I know you love closing deals. So do yourself a favor. My name is Jimmy Prater. Go close something. Yay!